It looks like Alex Pereira will not be fighting Magomed Ankalaev in his next title defense, and his opponent might surprise you. So stick around to hear who that is and when it's going to be. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. All right, guys, so before we get into the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment down below, all that good YouTube stuff. It really helps me out a lot. If you want to support the channel further and you want access to bonus content, become a channel member through the link below this video or the join button on our channel homepage. Thank you very much. Back to the video. All right, guys, so the UFC has 9 Brazilians booked across 7 fights for March 8th, UFC 313 in Las Vegas. Now, this tells me Alex Pereira is going to be the main event. Now, we need to talk about the implications of all of that because, I mean, we have some really good up-and-coming Brazilian fighters, Bruno Ferreira, Vitor Petrino, Josh Van's on the card. He's not Brazilian, but he's fighting Bruno Silva. Overall, really, really good card. Some of those people at the bottom, I'm not so sure of. I don't know who Jordan Santos and Ozzy Diaz are, but Carlos Leal, Alex Morono, Janata Diaz, and Vitor Petrino, Lemos, and Yasmin Lucindo. That one will for sure be the diversity hire women's fight on the main card. But Alex Pereira said he wants to return in March. This is it right here. UFC 313. This is slightly surprising to me because the UFC is rumored to be doing a Brazil pay-per-view in May. Now, if Alex Pereira doesn't save that one, it means we're getting another Pantoja main event in Brazil like we did last year. But it's kind of shaping up similar to last year. Well, last year it was April, but this year's March in Vegas. Pereira headlines that, and then Pantoja headlines the Brazil pay-per-view like the next month. And that's what happened with UFC 300 and 301. That very well could be what's happening with 313 and like 314 or 15, something like that. I think Brazil is going to be May because April is rumored to be Miami. With all of these Brazilians on the card, it's a huge indication that Alex Pereira is going to be fighting in March. And Magomed Ankalaev is the #1 ranked contender. Everybody is kind of calling for him to get this fight. He had some other fights. He rematched Yuri. He fought Khalil Roundtree. Now the fans are, for the most part, calling for Ankalaev to fight for the belt next against Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is over here saying that Magomed Ankalaev seems to be next, but he wants to make it harder for him. There's a few things that matter in regards to this March date. This is during Ramadan, which means that Magomed Ankalaev would either have to fight during Ramadan or he's not going to be on the card at all, and Alex Pereira is not going to be fighting Magomed Ankalaev in his next fight at least. It's not like he's never going to fight Ankalaev, which is certainly possible if he moves up to heavyweight, but I just mean specifically for his next title defense. And the reason being is that right here on his Instagram, Alex Pereira posts a video. I'm not going to play the video. It'll get copyrighted, but he says right here, it won't be Ankalaev in his next fight. I mean, he didn't say it's in his next fight, but he says it won't be Ankalaev. And this fight that has a lot of fans excited was announced for the London Fight Night on March 22nd, Jan Blachowicz against Carlos Ulberg. Now, this is nothing confirmed, just rumor that's been floating around is that Ulberg is being pulled from this fight and he's going to fight Alex Pereira in March. Carlos Ulberg, ranked about 8th in the UFC Light Heavyweight division, going in for a title shot against Alex Pereira. Given everything that I just talked about, it actually makes a certain level of sense. Now, the other thing that could be a possibility is that this is some sort of writing on the wall that we are not going to get Jones versus Aspinall. And this UFC 313 very well could be Aspinall versus Pereira for the heavyweight belt. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm not saying it's probable. I'm not saying it's for sure, but this is an idea. If they're not going to book Alex Pereira against the #1 contender, it's possible. Ulberg has not been officially pulled from the Blachowicz fight, but it's rumored to be something that they're kind of toying with. So I'm really interested to see what would happen because I think that Pereira beats Ankalaev in a very hard fight. I think Ankalaev is a hard fight for Pereira, but I think Pereira wins that fight. I actually think that Ulberg could be an even harder fight for Alex Pereira, which seems crazy given the rankings, but I think that Carlos Ulberg could actually give Alex Pereira some issues on the feet. I mean, Khalil Roundtree gave him a hard time for a couple of rounds, and Ulberg's bigger, longer, has knockout power, very well could give Alex Pereira a hard time. It's not Khalil Roundtree who KO'd Anthony Smith. This is actually a hard-hitting, big light heavyweight, not an undersized Khalil Roundtree. And If he fights Aspinall, I think he gets smoked, but I still want to see it. Now, Dana has been saying that Aspinall Jones will 100% happen this year. I'm not so convinced of that yet. I'm sure they'd have to bring in some sort of Saudi money to pay Jon Jones. But I mean, at the end of the day, the UFC is bringing in like $2 billion a year. Pay Jon Jones $30 million. Give everybody the fight we want to see. Alex Pereira, I don't care if he doesn't fight Ankalaev. I know he's the #1 contender. I know everyone says that Pereira's running from him. And it's an interesting fight, but I just want to see Pereira fight. And if that means that he fights sooner and it's against Ulberg instead of Ankalaev versus waiting 7 more months and fighting Ankalaev like in Abu Dhabi in October, I'll take the Ulberg fight. I'll take the Aspinall fight. Ankalaev would be a super boring champ. We all know that. And the UFC knows that too. And that's why the UFC is not super eager to put him in there. Because with Khalil Roundtree, the UFC was probably fairly convinced that Alex Pereira was going to win. And even if Khalil did win, you give Pereira a rematch and you have all the feel-good story of like Khalil used to be overweight, started fighting to lose weight, whatever, became a champion, all that type of stuff. I don't like Khalil Roundtree. He gained my respect a lot from that fight, but I think he's super cringy and I've heard some crazy things about him. But anyways, that's kind of off topic. Just wanted to check in with a bit of an MMA news reaction. We don't have a whole lot going on right now. We still have another week until the fights come back. I might just have to make another video about Conor McGregor, Logan Paul, because it seems more and more likely that that's going to happen. And it seems like we're going to see some very big changes in the UFC next year. So Ankalaev, Pereira, not next. Let me know what you guys want to see for Pereira. Drop me a comment down below. Thanks for watching this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. It really helps me out a lot. If you want access to bonus content, become a channel member today by clicking the join button on our channel homepage or the link down below this video. If you're interested in some non-MMA content from me, go check out my podcast, What's Up Bro, with Wyatt and Bo, in the link down below. Go watch this suggested video, and I'll see you next time.